What if the mother isn't some wise, omniscient, all-knowing god? Entities being deified far beyond their status is not new in the mass universe. And given what insights we've been given about the mother, honestly, I think she's no different. So I've already put out some foundational videos like who are the Asteri and other connections between the different Maasverse books. So if you haven't read all three series, make sure to keep an eye on the content because I'm doing my best to put it all out there for you. So the Asteri specifically are from Crescent City. They're not quite gods, but they are the top of the hierarchy for that social system. And in that series, we've learned that they've conquered many a planet, including the planet that Prythian is in. We also know that the people of Prythian were able to successfully uprise and repel them from their world. And we know at least one Asteri was left behind when that happened, named Vesperus. I should also note that in this world, the Asteri were known as the Daglan, but they are the same entities. And in Crescent City, Bryce, the hero of that series, discovers an archive where they have kept copious notes on the different worlds they've been to, how it turned out, what resources taste better than others, everything since they've been doing this. We know that there was a resource on Prythian that they have not been able to recreate. I suspect that's wild magic because it became a thing in the last ACOTAR book and really wasn't a thing before that. So here's the thing about the Asteri. They are Tricksy hobbitses. We know that after they left Prythian, they went to Midgard, the Crescent City series, and they tricked Peleus into following them there. Peleus had no idea they were the Daglan, so he believed them and trusted them and followed them, and that did not go well. So I think it stands to reason that the whole rebellion and them leaving in the first place was probably also a ruse. It's made clear that they want to return to Prythian. So my theory is that the mother is one of the Asteri that was left behind, except she was left behind on purpose so that she could signal when the time was right for them to come back and take Prythian over again. We know that the Cauldron is a kill switch for that world, that at any point the Asteri can just destroy the Cauldron and it destroys the world. That was the whole point in connecting the two. So my theory is that the mother was left behind to maintain the Cauldron and also keep an eye on things. I'm going to get more into that in just a minute, but for now, let's continue laying the foundation. There are some insights we get in ACOTAR Book 5, specifically from the way the Dread Trove interacts with Nesta. First and foremost, at the Blood Rite, Gwyn says the mother is watching over us, and the charms hum in agreement. That alone to me proves that the mother is actively watching Nesta. There's a different point where it's specifically said Nesta can almost feel her name, or like she almost knows her name, or something to that effect. The maid objects we know have personalities. Those personalities are different than the mother's personality. Through Feyre, we got to see that the Cauldron was confused that Elaine would protect Nesta. We got to see the sing-songy, seductive ways of the Book of Breathings. We got to see the temptress that is the harp. But the mother, when she's interacting, doesn't really have a personality. When the mother offers Nesta to give up all of her magic in order for her sister to live, for me, it read more like she's making sure Nesta really understands what that means before fulfilling that desire. Making sure she understands that there is pain in living. You can't have one without the other. It didn't read like confusion or any other more human emotion. It just read as, okay, we're making a bargain. Are you sure you mean it? And I think that's distinctly different from the Cauldron's personality. She gives Nesta all of the choices and she doesn't judge her for them at all. And then rewards Nesta for the choices she did make by letting her keep a little seed of that power. So that's my case for why I think the mother's Asteri. But what does all of this mean? Like, what do we do with that? Well, as I stated earlier, I believe the main point of the mother in the grand purpose was for her to signal that the time was right for the Asteri to return and conquer Prythian once again. However, the Asteri also destroyed their homeworld. And whether the mother is Asteri or not, I think she is probably pissed about that. I believe she was attached to that homeworld for her own reasons, probably being an Asteri herself, and that world being destroyed is unforgivable. So my theory here is that she's watching over the Cauldron like the Asteri want her to. She's going to signal them to come back just like they want her to. But she's also preparing the people of Prythian and Midgard, and maybe Aurelia, to actually be able to deal with the Asteri in a permanent way. Which, being completely honest, I'm not going to be surprised if this is one of those fan theories that doesn't come to fruition. I think it's simple and makes sense, but it's also kind of convoluted and complicated, and we all know how those theories turn out. But alternatively, she could be signaling the return for the Asteri and is on their side. Or the mother does absolutely nothing and she just lets things play out how they're going to play out. But those are my thoughts. Those are the outcomes I see coming, and I really want to hear your thoughts and what you think about all of this and what you think about the mother. So make sure to share it in the comments.